Hi folks, Mike Wesley here. We're going to talk about CTE, an introduction. We're going to talk about what is CTE, Career Technical Education, how do you transition into CTE, and go over even some course schedules. Actually, some of the things I know that I made this presentation for another group, and I'm not going to go but so far. If you're interested in career technical education, Google CTE. This is for California specific that I'm talking about. Or go to the Office of Education in your county. For example, the LA County Office of Education. I'm in Northern California, but I'm actually completing my education through the Los Angeles County Office of Education. That's LACOE. Google that and give them a call, and they will help you go through everything, or your local county board. Okay, the job of K-12 education in California must be to ensure that all of our students graduate with the ability to fulfill their potential. Basically, we want students to be able to get jobs. So right now we're making everybody college ready, and that's a challenge. So CTE gives students the job, the ability to hopefully graduate from high school with a skill set where they can make money and get in there. Career technical education provides students of all ages with academic and technical skills. There's about 12.5 million high school and college students enrolled in CTE across the nation. It is a national thing. And it prepares learners for the world of work by introducing them to workplace competencies and make academic content accessible to students. And it gives them hands-on skills. This is the challenge. Right now, a whole lot of students are graduating from high school with no hands-on skills. They don't know what's going on. That's okay. CTE is curriculum defined through the standards. Now, it's interesting. If you are, let's say, a single subject English teacher and you're teaching English 9, that's great. You can get the standards. I'm not sure where. You get your standards, and so if you're teaching in Oakland, California, if you're teaching in San Diego, California, everything's already prepackaged for you. This is wonderful. So, by January, you're both pretty much teaching the same thing. You know where you're at, and that's all good. CTE is not complicated, but it is different, and it's a puzzle, and once you understand the puzzle pieces, it's straightforward. There's no uniform course structure. We're going to talk about that. Some pathways are represented a little bit more than other, and one of the things about CTE is it has to reflect the local economic needs, economic situation, the labor market, and other. And the pathways overlap. We're going to talk about this. Now, what I'm talking about is, for example, I'm in the Silicon Valley. I'm up near Oakland, California. And, I've worked in the Silicon Valley for over 25 years in DevOps and even some tech support and software quality assurance in the early years. And so my skill set may not be the best for the Central Valley. Central Valley, CTE, might be agricultural science, even automotive repair, for example. You might want to learn how to fix tractors. So what happens is with CTE, you want to seek out local employers in your local community and create a board of advisors. And these advisors are going to meet once or twice a year, and they dictate what it is that you probably should be teaching. And these advisors are critical because they're the people that are going to be giving internships and jobs to your CTE program graduates. So if we graduate someone with, let's say hypothetically, computer programming skills in the Central Valley, when that's just not a community where they might not be able to find that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't teach programming in a rural community. I'm just saying that CTE doesn't meet the needs of the community. And again, the local businesses will dictate what's most important for that area. Benefits of CTE. Learners with disabilities are less likely to drop out. Everything comes from the California Board of Education website that I've got here. SPED and IEP learners are less likely to drop out. High school graduation for CTE is about 90%, 15 percentage points higher than the national average. Again, I'm a CTE graduate, and I know people. Again, it was ROP back in my day. Still exists, but same thing. So, weaving CTE into the fabric, 7th through 12th grade. It is SPED aligned. College prep aligned, A through G. A lot of people feel that, I'm going to university, therefore I should not participate in the CTE program. Well, I'm a graduate who went to a university directly out of high school, and I graduated from university, and I definitely am so happy that I went to my CTE program and learned how to do drafting. It is Common Core and it is Common Technical Core, so the standards are all there and available. Back in my day, we had majors. This is kind of missing, I think, from many high schools nowadays. So we're just kind of doing an A through G thing, and you're going to get your A through G, and we're going to get you into university. But what happens is, there's no focus other than A through G, getting into the university. And so when these students graduate, which is great, again, they don't have a focus. It's general. So, you could have easily business. For me, it was drafting. For my buddy, it was metal shop. You could have math. So the major is kind of an implicit thing built into CTE. Basically, it's a focus or concentration of the pathways. Education. A university degree is not required to be a CTE instructor. You need at least 3 years of work experience directly related in each industry sector. You get to pick as many sectors as you can. As a matter of fact, pick as many as you can up front so you don't have to add them on later, because that's going to cost you maybe an extra $200 or so per. So you do it all up front if you can. 1 year is a minimum of 1,000 clock hours, and the experience may be full-time or part-time, paid or unpaid. So you need 3 years experience. Somebody's going to have to write some letters for you, and they'll help you with that. So I'm going to move forward. You need a high school diploma, a GED, or if you come from another country or another place or something, you want a foreign equivalent of a high school diploma. So even, for example, if you come, that's pretty straightforward. The numbers. Here's a problem. 15%. This comes from the Department of Education. 15% of high school graduates will earn a university degree within 10 years of graduation. The average cost right now of a UC 4-year degree, according to the Department of Education, $140,000. Hypothetical. So the average, did I miss a slide? I dropped a slide out of here. So that means hypothetically, if you make it halfway through and don't even really get into a major concentration of a UC, you're looking at $70,000 that you're going to owe, and unfortunately, you may or may not have still hands-on skills. And this is pretty common. That's not bad. It is great to go to university, but now potentially you're looking at someone who doesn't complete university, and now they've got $70,000 that they need to pay on, I don't know, whatever, 5% a year or something like that. Who knows how they borrow the money. Average person with a BA makes $66,500. BS is $77,700. This is according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. With CTE jobs, quite often their careers start about $20 an hour, $40,000 a year. That's great. And considering, let's say, a hypothetical situation, maybe you have actually a student with an IEP, or some student that they just don't want to go to university. That's their choice. They can step out of school with no debt, and hopefully, if your program works great, start around $20 an hour. So they're making $40K a year, and they don't have 70 grand in debt. They don't owe the price of a house in central United States. So a couple of things. These numbers are averages for what people earn for a couple jobs that may not require a degree. Doesn't mean that these students are going to make this money, but these are the averages. Electronics repair, computer network support, sales, computer user support, graphic designers, good careers, all CTE potential programs. There are 15 industry sectors for CTE. And each one represents a certain agriculture and natural resources. Arts, media, and entertainment. That is video design. If you do Photoshop, blah, 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 that's what that is. Very prevalent in schools. Building, construction, and trades. If you are a construction worker, you're a contractor, licensed contractor, have experience in that, business and finance. You have finance, selling insurance, all that good stuff. Education, childhood development, energy, environment, utilities, engineering and architecture, if you've worked as a draftsperson or certain engineering fields. And again, all this stuff, surf the web for this. Fashion and interior design, health science, hospitality, tourism, information and communication technologies. Basically, if you come out of technology, and if you are on the graphic side, you want to look at arts, media, and entertainment, and or information and communication technologies. If you work with, let's say, networking, technical support, computer technical service, software quality assurance, programming, game development, you want to look at information and communication technologies. All those things plus a whole lot more. Manufacturing and product development. This is really my area. And marketing, sales, and service, public services. These are the industry sectors. Each one of these has subgroups that are built into them. Plus, in addition to that, you build your own curriculum within those, basically following the guidelines. Transportation. That's right. So transportation might even be auto shop, basically. 58 pathways. We're not going to cover all the 58 pathways. We're not going to cover any of them, actually. Courses. So there's a kind of a game here. So in CTE, it goes 3 ways. Introduction. That's your base course. And this is a requirement. There are 3 things required. Concentration. Give the student more. In your introduction, the student decides, well, I'm not going to continue with this, or I am. Concentration gives them more. Capstone gives them everything. Once they finish their capstone, it should be hopefully UCOP registered, so now they get credits for that. In addition, it needs to be federally registered as a capstone course for a CTE program. Now you get federal funding for that. And in addition, this is it. So it's required. You're going to see a lot of stuff on the internet that's pretty much lies. I'm going to call it as it is. Every CTE program needs at least 1 introduction, at least 1 concentration, and 1 capstone. The capstone is that final course that says you've actually achieved something. In addition, your concentration and capstone course, you need to actually be in bed with the middle school and high schools. They need to be together in the community college, because your concentration and capstone should actually count for the class at the community college, the introductory class. And when they finish these 2 classes, they actually should meet the requirements of the introductory class, and they should not have to take that introductory class at the community college. And that's all part of the program. So courses can overlap in different ways. Again, notice here we got 2 introduction classes required for, you gotta make up, you have to understand the puzzle. Once you get through your especially the curriculum class, you'll understand how this works. Here we've got 2 introductions, a concentration, and capstone. So this person is network technology. This is somebody who might get an entry-level job doing computer network or computer operating system support in some company or something like that. And here's your business pathway. And this person might go into a small accounting firm and use QuickBooks or something like that, or Lacert to do to help assist with taxes or bookkeeping and stuff like that. Typically bookkeeping. And it could be the same person, because you can actually, one person could do this. If they're able to get this operating systems, networking, and then accounting and worked in, then they're all good. So CTE Purpose. CTE's got to have a point. CTE starts in grade 7, so you can start your students early. Middle school and high school electives must have a pathway, so you need to figure this out in advance. That these students, oh, you're taking these, so you're interested in this, or we're going to guide you this way. This is what you need to do. CTE course graduates should be workforce ready upon high school graduation, and you need 300 minimum hours in a sequence. So your pathway or your program or your sequence needs to have 300 contact hours in the classroom in order to be real CTE. If you don't, it's not CTE. And that can even start again in grade 7. So a couple of examples of schedules. 2 years behind in reading, community college bound, A through G. And public utilities, ignore that part. 2 years behind in math and reading. So you could have an ESL student, an IEP student, or SPED student, or something like this. And it's going to be tricky, but let's say they want to do computer repair. That's real. So, you give them a bunch of reading or some ESL over here, some algebra support, and then, it's somewhere you start them with technology core, like a basic class of just basic stuff. Grade 11, you give them basic electronics. Here's their concentration, introduction, concentration, capstone. The capstone is going to be computer repair and maintenance. These 2, 1 or 2, if not both of these, are going to be UCOP registered as G electives. And again, now they can go to community college and carry on, or they go to university. No big deal. Well, that was, And CTE Business major planning. Oh, yeah. So let's say we have someone who's they want to go to community college. This is wonderful. So that means if they want to go to community college, they need 2 years of math, really culminating in algebra. So we have a couple choices. Let's say you have mathematics in your school. You could give them math and then algebra, or you can give them algebra 1 and geometry, but they don't need 3 or 4 years of math. And so we can have an introduction to business class, a business applications, which again is your Google Docs or your Microsoft Office, and then maybe an entrepreneurship or a business class right here. That's going to be the capstone course. And then they could fill the rest in with whatever you want, or other electives, or other. And finally, A through G alignment. So here's somebody who's A through G aligned, and they want to take a CTE program, and they want to learn how to program Android applications, for example. So you're going to give your technology core, again, your Google Docs and all that good stuff that everybody takes. Now maybe you're going to do the MIT App Inventor program here, which is drag and drop programming, and that teaches them how to do Android development, but it's drag and drop. You're not going to go into industry and drag and drop code. It just doesn't happen. So you need to make that leap. So maybe you have a basic Java class. So over here, you've already taught the constructs of programming. Over here, those same constructs show up, but you're actually coding by hand. And then we put it all together and use the Android Studio or something like that. So they're coding in Java, and then they're making the UI. And so now we've got A through G aligned, and we have 2 concentrators here with 1 introduction, and we have our capstone, and this person can go right into university, and they already have a foundation for completing real applications. Okay, so also a couple of suggestions. This is not required. When you're doing CTE, the senior project can be based on whatever they're doing in their industry-related topic. Their community service hours can be completed in a related industry sector. And you can complete a related community college course if you so choose. And that's it. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, just post and we'll get back to you. Bye-bye.